you are summoned to reappear before this joint session on Monday. I think is about 3 weeks away, 26th of November 2012. That shall be at 11 a.m. prompt without fail.
The NCNC management sat speechless and after a while left, perhaps to prepare for their inevitable return on November 26th. Next to present their report was a rejuvenated National Council for Civic Education. The council has had their report rejected last year, but they appear relaxed this time as a confident-looking Alhaji Modu Juve, acting chairman, read out the activity report, first giving some background information about the NCCE.
The National Council for Civic Education, as you are all aware, was established by Act number 1 of 1998, pursuant to Article 198 of the Second Republican Constitution. The Act mandates the NCCE, that is the National Council for Civic Education, to create and sustain awareness of constitutional democracy for the achievement of political, economic, and social stability through civic education.
The period under review, Juve lamented, had been very challenging as the council grappled with serious financial scandals caused by 3 staff who have since been prosecuted, convicted, and sacked, as well as the loss of another 2 senior staff members who passed away in quick succession. These incidents, according to the acting chairman, brought the council on the brink, but after concerted efforts and sacrifices, the council was able to replace them and move ahead with the support of government. The newly restructured management under his leadership has turned a new page and is fully complying with regulations.
We are more than glad, Mr. Speaker, to report before this committee that financial lapses identified by the auditors for the period under review is now history at office level, as remedial measures have since been taken to rectify the situation.
Juve outlined a number of challenges that he said are hampering their activities. These include lack of adequate office space, lack of capacity for staff, and inadequate financing. The program officer of the council, Aissatou Biteye, read a voluminous statement on the activities of the council, which basically centers on civic education and the various methods used by the council to reach out to the people. This was followed by the auditor's report, which fairly reflected a true picture of the NCCE, save for a few observations such as missing payment vouchers and monies not accounted for. These observations effectively opened the floodgates for comments by committee members. The Speaker of the House reminded the NCCE of the challenges ahead, urging them to continue on the path of reviving the council. Honorable Fabakary Tombong Jatta was impressed with the acting chairman, praising him for his dynamism and eagerness to transform the council. Several others, such as Honorable Seni Baye, Honorable Lamin Jarama, Honorable Lamin Jame, and Abdullah Kanaji Jawla, all urged the council to increase its activities, especially in reducing voter apathy, which is a concern of politicians. Honorable Mam Chano Jallo urged for the increase of the council's subvention, which currently stands at $2 million, and wondered how could the council deliver on its mandate with such a meager allocation. In response, Modu Juve said they were working on reaching out to the whole country with a series of activities already in the pipeline. We've already signed an MOU with the UNDP to that effect, Juve concluded. The financial report, audited accounts, and activity report of the NCCE was subsequently adopted unanimously, much to the relief and happiness of its management. Mamadou Diallo, GRTS News.
The last batch of Gambian pilgrims on board the Ethiopian airliner Thursday evening arrived in the Gambia from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Fatou Jasseh was at the Banjul International Airport and reports the Alajis and Ajaratus were received by well-wishers and loved ones.
A familiar landing at the Banjul International Airport, and with it comes the last batch of pilgrims from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. After successfully completing one of the 5 pillars of Islam, these pilgrims describe the journey as an experience of a lifetime. Some of the pilgrims, among them Kutubo Jafune, paid glowing tribute to their children for financing their trip to the Holy Land. For many, the journey has been a hitch-free trip, whilst others focus on the rigors of what has been both a physical and spiritually demanding journey. Wandifa from the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare said performing the Hajj has been his personal dream. Now that the pilgrims have fulfilled one of the Islam 5 pillars, they are pleased to reunite with their families once more. For GRTS News, I am Fatou Jasseh.
Well, the community of Jalal Tankonjala in the North Bank region has completed harvesting on the huge maize farm cultivated on behalf of their adopted mother, Aja Asombi Bojang. Ibrahima Jatta saw the volunteers in action and he reports the bumper yield harvested fairly exceeds those of the previous years.
Harvesting day at Jalal Tankonjala. The farm is abuzz with activity. The whole village, which has chosen the president's mom as their honorary mother, is out here giving a helping hand to harvesting works on this major maize production. Villagers in Jalal Tankonjala stormed this massive farm in the wee hours of the morning, rounding up the maize field by midday. An exclusive maize production for the community's chosen mother, Aja Asombi Bojang. Women form the bulk of the workforce here, reinforcing the effect of a significant association united by their love and devotion to the Gambia's first mother. Fortify and sustain the accord amongst you was the message of Opa Badibu Chief Ibrahima Ansu Tamba Jammeh. The district chief hailed the endeavors of an association he described as a beacon of unity and communal harmony in his area, whilst entreating the community to tighten the bond which brought them together. Jalal Tankonjala Alkalo Sajo Ba emphasized his community's unswerving commitment and solidarity for their chosen mother. Our intention was to secure a greater yield, but unstopping rain showers adversely affected the crop's productivity, Ba told the state broadcaster. Youth leader Bakari Keita led a large team of youngsters whose efforts quickened the pace of the day's activities. We're doing this for our nominated mother, but it's partly in response to the national call for the citizenry to till the land and intensify agriculture. President Jammeh provided the right inspiration. This is why his mother is everything to us, the youth leader stated. Several other villagers expressed what was unanimously illustrated as unyielding affection and esteem for the mother of their visionary leader, who was extolled for interminably propelling the cause of national development. The extensive farm was completely harvested as the day wore on, amassing huge returns of maize. Fatou Sow, leader of the Asombi Bojang Kafo, commended her association for the substantial turnout at the harvest, which steered a euphoric atmosphere and great enthusiasm in the villagers, toiling tirelessly to the end. Last year's harvest registered 30 bags of maize, but Bekai Bojang underscored the significant increase in yield this time around, despite the damaging impact of torrential rains experienced across the country. Across the North Bank region, communities continue to show love to the first mother. In Yuna, a massive maize production has already been harvested, waiting for onward transportation to its next destination. In Badibu Kontekunda, villagers have finished harvesting a bumper rice produce and other wheat crops exclusively designed for the chosen mother of the settlement, Aja Asombi Bojang. Ibrahima Jatta, GRTS.
Economic outlook has weakened for the wild growth in the global output predicted at 3.3% in 2012 is also said to be slightly below the initial projection of 3.5%. This revelation was made by the governor of the Central Bank of the Gambia during a press briefing for the country's banking industry and members of the media fraternity on the outcomes of last July's Monetary Policy Committee meeting. Samuel Ba was there for GRTS.
This press briefing convened by the Central Bank of the Gambia for media houses follows a recent meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee earlier in July on the 2012 economic outlook in relation to global output projected to have slightly decelerated in the face of weakening external demands. In the Gambia, the economy is projected to have expanded by 4% in 2012 following a contraction in the previous year due to severe drought in the Sahel region. Gross domestic product is also expected to expand by 10% in 2013.
According to the Gambia Bureau of Statistics, the Gambia economy is projected to expand by 4% in 2012, following a contraction of 4.0% in 2011 caused by the severe drought, which reduced agricultural output in several countries in the Sahel region. Real GDP is expected to expand by about 10% in 2013, premised on the expected recovery of crop production to the 2009 and 2010 levels and drought growth.
Experts say that the pace of monetary expansion remains modest, indicating a money supply growth of 7%, lower than the 11.5% captured in 2011. Preliminary estimates of government fiscal operations also indicate an increase